On the Sachsenhausen stretch of the Main River embankment, there are 10 museums. There's culture for every age, ranging from pop music to classical opera to modern theater and film. The city of Frankfurt, much like Portland, is a fabulous walking city. So we've got a special treat today. We're going to go on a walking tour, courtesy of the German National Tourist Office and the Frankfurt Tourist Office. They're hooking us up with a guy named Jens. Don't really know who Jens is yet, but I'm supposed to meet him at the Goethe statue. Can't be that hard to find. You must be Jens.
You must be John.
I am. How'd you know?
You look like an American.
I can't help that.
Perfect. Welcome to Frankfurt.
Thank you, and thank you for taking us on this walking tour.
It is my pleasure.
What are we going to see?
Contrasts. We call Frankfurt the city of contrasts and oppositions. So everything is a little bigger, a little smaller, black and white.
This is an interesting building, and this one actually looks like it survived the war.
You're looking at a typical neoclassical style from the end of the 19th century, and it's the best-known luxury hotel of the old school in Frankfurt. A long time ago, when the Stones were in Frankfurt, Mick Jagger was a guest. Unfortunately, he was banned from the house for the rest of his life.
What did Mick do?
Money and banks, the financial capital. What you see there is the largest bank in Germany. It's called Deutsche Bank. For the big event in the opera, you see all the people dressed in tuxedo and black dresses going to the opera. So it's a nice place, and especially if the sun goes down, it shines over there to the cafes, and this is the hot spot where the stars come out at night.
The Alte Oper, the Old Opera, was originally built in 1880 to house the opera. It was rebuilt after World War II and recently celebrated its 25th anniversary on my grandfather's birthday and Goethe's birthday, August 28th. Okay, Jens, this we have a lot of in the US, especially in Portland, but this, what is this?
Oh, that's very special. It's a small BMW, and it has a safety device. So if you crash, you're protected in a kind of a steel cage here. So John, now we will have a view on Frankfurt from the top. So what happened here is, John, that those architects realized their dreams of a townhouse. They were encouraged to use all colors, all styles, all materials. I just imagined a construction company calling the architects, we are just reading the plan.
Did you really mean to put the mermaid horse on the top and the top of the tower on the bottom?
That's the oldest piece of architecture in Frankfurt. And unlike all the other reconstruction, that's an original, because it shows the 12th century, the so-called Roman style, and it was once the private chapel of one of the emperors of the Holy Roman Empire of German nations.
Okay, now this is a special stop on the tour. This is the Goethe house. Why is this important for us?
Well, you know, Goethe is the most famous son of Frankfurt. He is like Pushkin or Victor Hugo, one of those big-time writers. Our poet would definitely have shown on the cover page with half-naked photo models from time to time, because he was a playboy.
Okay, so this was an important room.
That's a kitchen, the most important room. This is where the food came from. Today at home, if you need water, you turn on the faucet, the water comes, you don't even think about it. But back then, in the 18th century, having water in your kitchen was a privilege only for the richest and most powerful families of the city. Close to the kitchen, here they had breakfast. Another sign of luxury is the heater. Today, of course, the heater or an air conditioner is no big deal, but again, in the 18th century, having a heater in each and every room shows once again that this is the high-end version of lifestyle.
What's this room?
That's the room for special occasions. Here they had weddings, for example, birthdays, or, as you know already, they were kind of high society on the weekend. Families like this one, they supported artists, and you know, by nature artists are poor, so instead of paying money for the rent, they gave a picture from time to time. They nicely show us the worldview and the Lebensgefühl, the way they felt back then. Today we have internet, Amazon.com, bookshops, universities, libraries, but having access to books in the 18th century is an extreme privilege that only he enjoyed, and this is the biggest collection.
You know how y'all used to sneak out of your room at night during high school or junior high and think your parents didn't know you were out? Well, Goethe had the same thing going on, didn't he? Tell us about this window.
When Goethe was a teenager, somebody to build in here these special windows, and then in this seat the father spends the night hours waiting for his useless son.
Okay, this is a special room in the house that actually makes girls cry.
Yes, we have seen the Japanese who are gaga of Goethe coming in here, getting hysterical, fainting. We have seen girls in tears, so like a Beatle rock concert. Some people freak out completely when they come to this holy room.
Hey man, thanks for the tour of the Goethe house, and you know, it was very cool to see how people lived back then, but I think the coolest part for me, not knowing a lot about Goethe, was learning about what a fun guy that dude was. I think we would have been good friends.
This is the historical part of Frankfurt, but when you look around, remember Frankfurt was totally destroyed in World War II, which is why everything you see, absolutely everything, is just kind of Hollywood movie facade. It's a reconstruction.
All right, Jens, we've been seeing these bikes all over the place. Now, other than the obvious, they're bikes. What are these?
This is another contribution to reducing the pollution. All you have to do is you pick your mobile phone, you punch in the number you see, then the computer voice gives you a PIN code.
And the cost isn't that much, is it?
They charge your credit card, and if you go like half an hour, it might be €1. Here you'll find everything you need for food from all over the world. There are spices from India, wine from Italy, fishes from France. This is the place for the gourmets in Frankfurt to buy food, and it's also the place to get a typical German sausage. The typical German lunch, we call it currywurst. It's a wurst with ketchup and curry, and this goes together with French fries, ketchup and mayonnaise. So let's say that's the German answer to McDonald's. That's our junk food. It's a must.
One of my favorite things about traveling outside of our country is the underground worlds that await you. You've got bakeries, you've got clothing stores.
Absolutely. This is the entrance to one of the big department stores. Of course, the famous German bakeries. There even is a travel agency. Yes, there is an underground life under Frankfurt.
Thanks for the tour, buddy. You were awesome. You've inspired me to do some shopping right now, though. So how about you and I hook up at dinner?
I'd say dinner at 7 o'clock in one of typical cider restaurants of Frankfurt, and be prepared for a strange kind of experience.
Sounds good. See you
for dinner. Ciao.
At least 332 banking institutions are either based or have a branch office here in Frankfurt. Included are 194 foreign institutions from more than 40 countries, solidifying Frankfurt as the financial hub of mainland Europe.